You don't need a builder's license or council consent to add extra space to your home. I'm Josh, a builder here in New Zealand, and this series is all about building an unconsented sleep out. I'm tracking every mistake, every measurement, and every single dollar spent so you can do one too. This is week 1. Let's go. Yo, it's Monday the 20th of April, and this is day 1 of building a tiny house start to finish. Come along for the ride. I'm going to include chapters so that you can skip ahead. Here's a quick rundown. At the end of the video, there'll be a budget and a time card. This is it. This is where we're staying. So the section nobody wanted sold, and that build up there is not quite ready to move in. Well, definitely not ready to move in. We only just got windows. So we're going to be staying here for the next 6 months. And as you know, we've got 4 boys and we need a little bit of extra space. So rather than driving ourselves nuts in there, we're going to build ourselves a tiny house over here. Step 1, we've got to clear this out. We'll get rid of all the junk in there. Sorry, Nicole, it's not junk. We're going to clear this out, we're going to lift it up, we'll put it on a trailer, we'll move that, and then we'll mark it out. Old red. Next mesh, so I've loosened the shed from the base. Next mesh is we're going to lift it up, we're going to back the trailer in here, we're going to get that on the trailer to site. Easy peasy, right? I've got these posts here that I've been saving for a while now for a rainy day. And that's the beauty of these tiny homes, is you can reuse stuff like this. You just have to hoard it for the last 2 years. As well as reusing the piles, I've got a door over here from the old studio that we're going to use on the front. And so again, the beauty of these builds is that you can modify the plans to suit what you've got. Like a big giant door like this. Or you can find a door on Trade Me and do it yourself. Do it yourself. Tiny house day 1 update, babe.
What's happening?
About to remove the shed.
Oh, exciting.
I've emptied it out.
Cool.
And
where's my lawnmower?
At my house to mow Chatsworth lawns. Final mow. On top of that, I've been hoarding a bunch of materials in here.
Micah?
Yeah. While I lift up the shed, you have exactly 3 seconds to hit subscribe. Done? Awesome. Let's keep moving. That's how you move a shed. excited for. Day one of building an overflow tiny house, and well, it feels like we've gone backwards. We've moved this future bike shed, goes over there, and then tomorrow we can dig holes for our piles. Anyway, let's go and get dry. Yo, it's day 2 of building a tiny house, and it's pretty wet here, very wet. School's closed, weather warnings. So I'm in the yard under a cover, and I'm going to do a little bit of prep. I'm going to get as many things ready. Today my one goal is to get some profiles up. We'll talk about what a profile is, but I think that's a big tip, is every day set yourself a mini milestone. By the end of today I want to be here. Remember, whether it's a 10 square metre box or a 300 square metre house on a hill, it's just a series of days all added up together. If you don't have waratahs, you can also use timber pegs. I also keep all my old screws in a bucket, real easy to take around site. Got big ones, little ones, all sorts. Again, aim of the game is reusing stuff. Let's get the boards. These are all old bits of timber from multiple jobs that have been used multiple times. Even if you can use an offcut at least one more time, it's worth it. Right, 2 tripods today. As well as our profiles helping us work out where the building's going, we put it to the right height. On a big build we'd use a laser level, but you can use a spirit level and a straight edge. You could even use a water level, I've done that before. Bearers need to be 300 above dirt. You can go 150 if you put DPM down, I'm going to do that. I want it to be one step into the tiny house. I also want to reduce the footprint on the land. So I'm going to mark across here, get a height here, and then we'll work our way around. It is a very, very wet Tuesday afternoon. I'm real keen to get back out there and finish the profiles, but it's not working. A large part of building is doing a lot of research and a lot of prep and understanding, you know, if you're going to spend hundreds of dollars and hours of your time, you want to make sure that you're doing it the right way, you're using the right fixings, you're using the right sizings. I've downloaded NZS 3604 phone and my laptop, and I'm searching that up. I can't show you that due to copyrights. If someone at Standards is watching this and you want to let me talk about it online, I would love to. Your pile spacings are dictated by your bearers. Here we're doing a 1.5 kPa floor because it's dry in service, light load. It's just Jacob. The other thing is draw to get it out of your head, draw to explain it to someone. Just draw as you're researching, it'll help you so much. All of this stuff that I'm working out, I'm chucking into a PDF, by the way, so that you don't have to do all of the hard work. Click the link below, chuck your email in, and you can get my free PDF. Next thing then, I'm working out joists. This is all important because when we go back, we're going to build up a story rod. Yo, it's 6 p.m, just had dinner. It's been wet all day, but I wanted to get the story rod up so that, and at least a few profiles, always get one step ahead of the next day. A story rod is just a simple piece of timber, but what we'll do is we will mark it we're going to mark top of piles, top of bearer, top of floor joist, flooring. That then gives us 4 reference points that we can set everything else up to. Yo, it is Wednesday afternoon, sun has finally come out so we can do some digging here. I'm going to rebuild this profile in the corner here. In the light of day it probably could be better. And then I'm going to mark out the piles and then we're going to dig. Dig. Is that you? Yeah. Now we go this way. Same deal, hold it on 100. Cool beans. Now we go. So do you remember Pythagoras from school?
Shit.
There, hold it there. Five 130. So that means by 130 it needs to come this way. Okay. Round the outside. Round the outside. Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. 5-1. Boom, we have a square. So do you want me to tell you what we just did? So I'm just going to explain it to Kuba and you. So Pythagoras, this ancient clever guy, worked out that if you have a right angled triangle, which is a square, 90 degrees, so if this side is 3, this side is 4, and this side is 5, and so we literally just did that. We put a mark there 3 meters and a mark there 4 meters, and the first time, so then that side should equal 5. But the first time we measured it equaled 5/130. So I moved the line in, and once you've done it a few times you kind of know how much to move it. Just a smidge. And now it's 3 meters there, 4 meters there, 5 meters there. What that means is now I have a perfect triangle, which means I have the basis of a square. I've made it parallel with the house, I've made it parallel with the driveway, and more importantly I've made it square. Because when you're going to build something, you want to make sure it's min. Now that we've got the strings up and square, I can mark it on the ground. Next thing I'm going to do is mark out the bearers. From here we can mark out the piles. Then we can start digging if this rain stops. And then I can put that there. So that's where we dig a hole. So now with the $15 spray paint, we have basically got a plan on the ground. And this is important because then you can communicate it. You know what you're up to, you know where to dig. I've realized already something's in the way. You can adjust if you have to. You can show your loved one what you're up to. You can explain it to someone who's helping you. Spray paint. Yo, it's day 4 of the tiny house build and the sun is out. That also means that our other site is super busy and I've spent the morning over there sorting out windows. Pumped that we're getting some progress there. 10 AM and instead of having smoko, I'm over here digging. I got 3 hours before I need to head back to that site. Oh, it's getting hot.
Oh, YouTube.
6 years ago. Just for fun.
Yep.
I've always wanted to do it, and then you worry about everyone thinking you're weird or whatever.
Yeah.
But you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I talked about Pythagoras in 345 and maths from school. Another one we use is volume. Can't see it. Budget so far, plans, free. Remember you can get them from me. Piles, free. Probably saved about $140. Spray paint, $15. Builder's mix, $73. Cement, $90. Bearer timber, $202. I'll record all the tools we use and do that in a separate video. I'm recording all of this at full retail. Comment below if you think Mitre 10 should give all of our viewers a special rate. Time card, day 1, moving and clearing, 2 guys, 4 hours, plus a boost up from Ollie and Kieran. Cheers guys. Day 2, clearing the site, 3 hours. Reading plans, 3 hours. Writing it down, 3 hours. Profiles up and story rod, 2 hours. Day 3, run string line and check for square, 2 hours, 2 guys. Setting up bearers and spraying on the gown, 1 hour. Start digging, 2 hours. Day 4, digging, 4 hours, 2 guys. Getting materials, 2 hours. Thanks for watching, see you next week.